Welcome to the Market Inside Out podcast with Suzanne Longstreet, Emma O'Brien, and Michelle Tresemer. It's time to diffuse the marketing minefield for entrepreneurs.
Like, Emma, do you see people when you're doing messaging, if you work with someone over years, it changes, right? There's a life cycle to it.
Yeah. So, companies rebrand, as we all know. Companies will come out with a new logo to update, and that's healthy and expected. But messaging, and that's really interesting because your story, messaging is something that always changes. It changes as your business grows. Yeah. Because as you launch new things, as you expand who you're talking to, as things change, I mean, even look at now kind of with, the pandemic happening right now, businesses are, the world has changed. And so you have to reframe your business or your services. So messaging never ends. I usually think give it 6 months. When you go out with a message, commit to it for at least 6 months, see how it's working, how it's resonating, and then go back to it. But definitely look at it every year and make sure that it's still on point. It's still talking to your ideal customers and what they care about, and it's working for you.
Mm-hmm. I have 4 words that I live by in my coaching business. Decide. Make a freaking decision. Focus on what you want. Commit to the direction and the focus that you have. And then here's my favorite. This is the one that I think is the difference between somebody who's successful and somebody who's not. Action. Take action. So decide, focus, commit, act.
And those are like the 4 hardest things to do when you're, an entrepreneur, if you're earlier in your business, if it's just you or, you're kind of a solopreneur. Those 4 things are all super hard. I struggled with all of them.
Do that. Those 4 things, you will have success. It's like, have you ever done sailing? You guys are near the water, both of you, right? You're near the ocean.
I've sat on a sailboat, but I've never done anything.
We're in the Pacific Northwest. Like, we don't go in the water or really, it's not like, it's so cold.
I'm in Ontario, so we have beautiful, like right near on Lake Ontario, which is where I learned to windsurf. Not recommended. You don't want to fall into Lake Ontario, where I was. Anyways, the thing is, in order to do it, you have to actually unmoor from the shore.
Yeah.
And there are so many people who are tied up in there. They want to go sailing. They're sitting at the dock, moored, tied up, and they're thinking, okay, well, I'm successful in business because I'm on my sailboat. It's like, no, you got to put it in the water and get the sails up and start going. You can course correct, and you got to start. And have an idea of where you're going. Have an idea.
A vague idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, vague idea. But you don't have to figure it all out at the beginning. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Isn't that why people hire people like us so we can just shove them off the dock?
Is that what
that's what I do.
So my role is to help people with their mindset, get rid of the stuff that's stopping them so that they can believe in their potential. And then I send them over to Emma and you.
And I help them figure out what their story is, their authentic story, and what the right message is for their business that really connects with what their ideal customers care about. And that's what I do. So you know what to say.
And then you toss them to
Michelle.
Yeah. And I give them a nice, healthy shove. We're going to post this. We are going to go out with this. We're going to scream it, digitally. But yeah.
Invisible. So here's the fun thing. This just makes me laugh. So 5 years ago, I came up with this concept. And then a couple of years ago, I wrote the book on how to move from being invisible to being invincible. And that's what it's about. It's about getting rid of the stuff that's keeping you invisible, the fear of visibility, and moving you forward so that you can be invincible. Thank you for listening to the Market Inside Out podcast with Suzanne Longstreet, Emma O'Brien, and Michelle Tresemer. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends.